Lovely listeners.
Welcome back to another edition of the Tammy and Wanda Show.
We missed you guys.
We missed you, but hey, something is different this time around.
Woo! Someone dyed their hair.
We did the Dice of Fate last week. Rolled silver.
Platinum silver.
Platinum silver, and that is what I attempted. We trusted the process.
And we don't have the best lighting in here today, so you can't really tell how platinum, but in person it's real silver.
It is. It's very silver. I'm feeling very Witcher right now. So I found it very ironic.
Geralt.
I found it very ironic that the Dice of Fate rolled a platinum silver while we were talking about Witcher last week.
I know, that's...
How ironic.
It's pretty big, and we've both been having kind of, excuse the expression, shit-tastic weeks the last couple. So today's episode is pretty on par for our content here at the Tammy and Wanda Show. We'll be talking about seasonal depression.
Good old sad.
And it's pretty good for us topic-wise because we both have depression and it's January. So it's one of those things that we all feel, at least on some level, and we're about to get our second big snowstorm here in Ohio of the season. And we're gearing up for more shoveling, which is going to suck.
But this time, good old Wanda has a shovel now.
And not a bowl.
And not a giant popcorn bowl.
That's helpful.
Listen, I've been Hawaiian. That's a lie. Ohioan. For all of my life. And you would think that I would have one at my house, but I do not.
Sadly, well, you do now.
I do now.
We
Thanks,
made the
Mom.
steps. Yep.
Thanks, Mom.
So,
but yeah, no, it's hitting me pretty hard today. Like, depression has been killer today.
Seasonal depression is one of those things that I don't think a lot of people want to admit that they have going on.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be that like Debbie Downer that's like, I don't feel like going out. It's like -4 and I just want to stay in my comfy socks. But I did.
Yeah.
That was my day. I'm still wearing said comfy socks and pajama pants. For those of you that saw our preview, you'll see that they were my favorite Harley Quinn ones. Because, you know, when you have seasonal depression, I feel like comfort clothes and comfort food go a long way.
Yeah. Mostly for me, it's hibernation. What's strange is that when I was sick, I didn't take my medicine as often, and I was feeling pretty good. I was just like, oh, well, maybe I am starting to cope with things and feel a little bit better. So I like didn't take my meds every single day. Well, it hit me.
Yeah.
It hit me. It hit me today, and I'm like, nope, not ready. Not ready to get off those.
No buenos. We don't like that.
Yeah. I remember the first time that I was diagnosed with depression, and I wanted to die because I was like, I can't be depressed. That's not me. Why?
Well, because you feel like you're so peppy most of the time, but when you have those lows, they're so far down that you're like, it's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to even remember to shower.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe you might remember, but you just don't feel like it. You're just like, ugh, why look okay? I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want to be near anybody.
Hey, that's when I get hit on all the time.
Skanky hair.
When I just look like trash.
Oh my gosh.
I just climbed out of a dumpster and everyone's like, hey, can I get those digits?
I mean,
I'm like, no.
It really says something about your attractiveness. That even
I
with
guess
gross
trashy
hair,
before
like, oh, hey.
flashy is better. Yeah, but no, it is. I'm definitely in an all-time low, and I've been like this for the last couple of days. But I also think the reason why there's a lot of sad going on is because we're not getting our regular D.
Vitamin D.
We
That's
need
very
that D.
important. A lot of us need other Ds too, but we won't go there today.
That's a different episode.
It's a completely different
for
episode
another time.
Needing the D.
But yeah, there's like a light. It kind of looks like a makeup mirror.
I have one of those on my desk.
Yeah, and you just turn it on, and it's supposed to be like a happy light.
I don't know that it makes me happier, but I feel like on the days I remember to turn it on, I feel more productive, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like artificial sun for you.
A little bit of energy boost.
So there's your vitamin D. I think that's why there's always a huge boost in the tanning salons around this time of year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're getting that, and you feel nice and toasty warm to the point where you feel like you don't need a coat for a few minutes when you tan. I miss tanning. For those of you that watch, can see how pale I always am. But yeah, we both are. 'Cause it's the time of year. I stay this vampire color all year long, unless I have a lot of yard work or whatever. But I used to go all the time when I had eczema. Which, fun tip for those of you that have eczema that are adults or at least 16. Tanning beds, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the vitamin D or what it is, but it helps dry up the gook that's under your skin that creates the eczema in the first place.
Okay.
And it helps you feel better about yourself because you're more tan, and then you don't have all those like splotchy patches all over. I used to get it on my arms all the time, but
yeah,
it's good for a lot of stuff. Mental health. Being one. So,
yep. I used to go tanning all the time. My ass got burnt a lot.
The only thing is, when you go tanning that much, like I started worrying about, well, how much is too much? And then you start worrying
when
about
that
things like
melanoma
skin cancer.
stuff came out.
Yes.
When we were in our young years, melanoma was not talked about. They're like, go tanning. Go tanning for like the rest of your life.
Be a crispy brown, but not like that lady who overtanned. Do you remember her that looked like she had leather skin?
Leather skin. Oh, man. I really thought my grandma, because that's all she did. Like, she would go to tanning beds when she was younger, and when it was, like, nice out, she would sit out in the sun. Not in the winter months, but she would go tanning during the winter months. But she would always have, like, luxurious brown skin. And I'm like, how does she do it?
You know who I'm always jealous of? And this is really sad because it's just one of those things I've always wanted and I'll never have, is Latinas. I know that they kind of range in skin color since we talked about Encanto last week. It's kind of fresh, top of mind. All the triplets had different skin tones, which was cool. But that light-skinned Latina or that light-skinned African-American woman has that beautiful honey color, and you're like, and it's natural. And they don't have to do anything for it other than moisturize, and you're
just
like,
moisturize it.
Oh, I look like a fucking vampire all the time, and you have translucent skin all year, and they look gorgeous, and you're just
the translucent skin is amazing for phlebotomists, but...
Or when you have to, give blood or go to the hospital for something and they need to get an IV.
They're just like, oh, there's your veins. I don't have to do anything.
We don't even have to look for that sucker. That blue line's right there.
Yeah.
But I've always been jealous because no matter how well I tanned, I never quite got to that cute honeysuckle brown, that nice light tan.
See, when my sister, before she stayed in the house a lot, she would always come out looking like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even know how. Me, I go out and I look like a fucking lobster when I come back in. Like, literally have to lay on my stomach while they, like, spray aloe on me, like, during vacation because I look like a goddamn lobster. And they're just buttering me up.
Oh, I was really lucky. When I was younger, I always tanned really well, which is weird. But, like, I'd have, like, the natural blonde highlights, and the beautiful tan skin. And it's from playing outside,
Yeah. Playing outside, guys.
When you had the time to be outside and do things out there, and now it's like intolerable.
Before our responsibilities, and the older you get, the more
you hate heat.
The more you hate being outside.
Yes. The bugs.
I mean, when I was younger, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to stay outside. I just wanted to live outside. But I burned really bad as a child. But now that I've gotten older, I tan so much better.
Yeah.
But I also am more responsible when it comes to my skincare because I would like to continue to look young.
A fun lesson for those of you that are listening is moisturizer and that has SPF in it.
Yes.
Is your best friend for if you do nothing else for your skin, especially on your face.
And welcome to our makeup corner.
Oh, yeah. Tammy's Makeup Moments. Brought to you by, I'm just teasing. That's where we would have a sponsor if we had one. Ah.
Yep, there we go, guys. We're still looking for those sponsors, but we're going to continue to give you content.
Yes.
Before we get sponsors.
Because we love you.
Because we love you, and we love it because it's therapy.
So that's something that, honestly, I am real crappy about. Like, I am not good at self-care and self-love, which really screams this time of year, which I think kind of leads into our own depression as you go, okay, so I have scaly dragon elbows and scaly dragon heels, and then I can't go anywhere to make myself feel better because it's too freaking cold.
It's
or
too
I'm snowed
cold.
in.
Or you're snowed in, or you have to deal with COVID shit.
Ugh. Which, by the way, for those of you that may not already know, you can go on to the USPS website, and there is a link there that you can order 4 free tests from the government for COVID-19. That's my little plug.
There you go. There's our little awareness
4
for
per
you
household today. For free. So I did that, and it's going to take like 3 weeks to get it after you order it. So order it now.
I will have to do that when I get off of here.
I also got some off of Amazon.
Oh, okay.
$9.99 for a 2-pack. So it took me about 3.5 weeks to get those 2. I think that's just the curve, but that way
I'm blessed to have my mom in the medical field who works at my doctor's office. I'm really lucky, so she's able to get stuff a little bit quicker. Not saying that I'm gonna like try to go. I'm like, give it to somebody who like really needs it, but she's like, but you're my kid, so you do need it. But I mean, she pays for it and everything, so she doesn't like try to like what some people would do.
Yeah. Doesn't take the free favor. It actually does it the right way, which
is... because my mom is a responsible adult and tried to raise me that way.
Especially working in the medical field, she'd have to be, you know?
Yeah.
So, take care of yourselves, I guess, is the lesson there is try not to, wear a mask because it's warmer. I found that, like, this time of year, ever since we did the whole mask mandate thing in 2020, in the wintertime, I just like wearing them outside because you're breathing your own hot air and it makes you warmer.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's normally when I would put my scarf around my face because I'd be so cold. Because, I mean, walking to and from classes during college, that was ridiculous.
Up at Kent, it was like a fucking wind tunnel. You would walk through certain buildings and it would just like whip around in a circle, and you just had to hide.
That's how some places in Akron would be.
Yeah, and you're like, all you see is your eyeballs in between classes because it's all you could stand to have showing.
Oh yeah, oh man, yeah. That self-care is definitely something. This is when everyone starts to rethink their life.
Oh yeah. All your life choices start haunting you in January. Because that's usually when you start feeling those wonderful resolutions that some people make.
Yeah.
This is about 3.5 weeks into the month when you're like, maybe I could skip doing the workout this week. And
I know. It really sucks. I've got this fob to go to the gym. I still have not made it to the gym. Because I work way too damn much.
Yeah. We both have that problem, though. It's one of those things where me working from home, because I'm home, I find that I'm like, oh, well, it's 5:15, but I could give it another 10 minutes, and then it's 6 o'clock before I know it. And, everybody's hungry and looking to do dinner, so it's like...
That's normally how it happens. It's ridiculous.
That's one thing we have in common is the workaholic gene, which is cool, but... It's not good for those of us that are looking to keep up on our self-care, that's for sure.
Yeah. Whoa.
We had an animal event, so sorry about that.
Our neighbor back there decided she wanted to visit, but our podcast mascot did not want that.
Yep, he took care of that.
He is looking out for you and us.
He said, get back in your room. Yeah, bear.
Huh. Good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of new things that are going to happen. I've had all these realizations, and it's time. I mean, I'm getting to that age where being in certain industries is just too taxing.
I don't know how people like servers or even healthcare workers at this point are even surviving. Yeah. People have been so, and we've talked about this multiple times on the show, such dicks in person.
Yes.
When you go out, and it's like that lends to part of this seasonal depression too. Is like, why do you want to go out and deal with those people if you can stay at your house and just order it and like be around the people you actually like being near?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I'm not a fan of being in the service industry. It's not fun at all. Because everybody expects things the way that they expect it. Oh, yeah. Well, if that's what you want, then why don't you just stay the fuck home? Mm-hmm. Just stay home.
They want it exactly the way they want it right now and faster than you could probably get it to them. And they're like, why? Oh, yeah. What's the holdup? And you try to explain, rationally, well, we're down one person and none of these people want to understand being understaffed. It's frustrating. It
is very frustrating. So I'd like to know what all of these other people do so that I can go to their establishment and be like, hey, what's the holdup? And they're just like, we're down a couple of people, so it is going to be a minute. No, I expected it now.
But why isn't it done right now?
Why isn't it done now? I'm going to give you a bad review because you did not give me what I wanted.
I also can't stand people at stores anymore. Like, I just feel like...
Oh, me either.
Nobody knows, like, they're just... I can't even explain why it frustrates me. I don't know if it's crowd anxiety, which we've explained on the show before I've got pretty badly, or if it's just the season. The season after the season of giving is such a letdown. And I think that's also part of everybody's problem.
And, like, a part of me is that the season of giving just really isn't giving. It's taking.
Mm-hmm. All the money you spend to make it perfect for
it's
family.
It's just taking. It's not giving. I mean, a lot of people get a lot of self-worth and excitement out of it. Mm-hmm. Me, I just feel like, okay, I'm way behind on 20 bills now because I had to make it nice.
Well, not only that, but when you were talking about giving and taking... Since we're all Friends fans here at the podcast, Joey Tribbiani popped into mind when he's doing the wedding vows when he's marrying Chandler and Monica. He's like,
all the giving
and receiving and giving. Or that he actually says something really like sentimental, and they're like, "Well, say that." The thing about the giving and the receiving, and Monica's like, "Oh my god." We need to make like a meme of that particular thing. Just giving, receiving.
Absolutely.
And that's a thing to this time of year keep in mind is give some grace. I tell the kid that a lot. Like, when he's having an issue with someone at school or something, I'm always like, well, you got to give him a little bit of grace first before you get mad. Like, is there a reason that particular child is having an outburst in that class that annoys you? Or is there something going on at home with them that's making them act out and be mean to just you? Like, it sucks that you have to deal with somebody who's being a jerk, but you got to give them a little bit of grace before you start really having a problem with somebody.
Yeah.
Always start there.
I notice more with me because I have a very bad problem with body imaging issues, which of course we learned that. I learned that in my... I don't have DID. But I feel like there's a ton of people in my head, but I digress.
That's the actress in you, though. We all have a few people in our brain.
This is how I'm able to act, guys. But a lot of, like, just nagging on myself. Mm-hmm. Because I now have way too much more time, because, like, during, like, the summer, the spring, the fall, I would have some time or, schedule some type of vacation where I can go and have a distraction.
Something to look forward to, too, the rest of the year.
Something to look forward to. But I have been having problems with panic attacks recently.
Mm-hmm.
And that has really increased since it's gotten colder.
Yeah.
Because I can't
go and do.
I can't, like, jumpstart myself to be like, all right, today this is the day that we're going to go to the gym. Like, I know that I've got to take that step.
Right. That step's the hard one.
That is the hardest step, and I keep getting to that step, and I'm like, all right, now you need to step onto that next step.
I've been telling the kid we're going to do yoga together for 3 weeks, and the DVD made it from the DVD case that's in front of where we're recording today to the living room, but we still have yet to do the yoga. So it's the first step that's the killer.
Yeah, like, it is just, it's so hard to get off that step.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, I know that we're not the only ones, but we're here. We're here to listen. You were listening to us complain about it.
If you've got some, issues that come up for you this time of year, please feel free to share with us, because publicly or privately, whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
We love hearing listener stories and stuff. So
definitely.
If there's some issue, I know that I get moody as shit this time of year, which is apparently pretty common for those that get seasonal affective disorder. Its official name.
Yes.
SAD for short, which I thought was really funny when we were researching a few things for the episode.
Why SAD? Why SAD?
The acronym SAD? I don't know.
I just want to know who came up with that acronym.
It had to have been a male doctor. They thought they were being real cute. That's because all the women get sad this time of year.
Dr. Sadian from like the 1920s.
There's some messed up shit in the medical field just throughout time. If you look up some stuff that they used to do.
Yes.
Woo.
I mean.
Original use for Lysol. That'll be my challenge for the listeners. Look that up.
I don't even want to know. I don't even know. I don't want to know. It's like all those other ones where they're just like,
I can tell you.
Google graham crackers or blue waffles.
I'll save you guys some time on that one. It used to be used as a douche in the 50s. That like helped with birth control. No.
Oh.
Lysol.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so they would use it as a douche, women back then, for like to stay clean in their feminine areas.
Sterilizing the field.
And you go, wow, did that create some other like behavioral issues in children that were unintended consequences?
Or for us who claim that we are not like Nazis, do the math. With sterilizing society.
Yeah. Was that a way to do that, I wonder?
Probably.
They said it was a good birth control, but does that kill every egg after?
Oh, I'm sure.
What does that do to your body?
I am sure, because, I mean, through the years, they have changed all the products and stuff. But
they were stronger in the 50s.
They were stronger in the 50s. So clearly, that caused some type of sterilization.
And maybe that's why there are so many women, at least in our friend groups that I know, that have issues with getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Where you go, is that something that happened as a result of stupid decisions in previous generations? And I know we talk a lot about generations on our show. It's like what led to us having so many fertility problems.
It is interesting. I mean, a lot of like fertility issues have come from our diets. Mm-hmm. From the economic area that you live.
Even behavioral changes as time goes on, like the different generations and how they handle like stress. For example, I know a lot of Gen Zers just kind of like vape and chill instead of actually like taking on the problem head on.
They do not know true stress until
they will.
But
I don't want to sound like a boomer and be like that new generation, like they did to us.
I know that like the old me. Like the old Wanda me is just like back in my day. Back in my day. All you had to eat was bread and butter because you couldn't get any money to get groceries.
Bologna and cheese sandwiches were a staple at my house growing up.
Mine was mayonnaise and bread.
Well, because honestly, like bologna, even now, is so cheap. Compared to all the other meats you can buy.
I have to have a craving for it, but when I was younger, I would eat it all the time.
I always did the double-decker bologna and cheese, so it would have two slices of each, but they had to be like bologna cheese.
Hell yeah.
Would you put anything on it?
Mayo.
Just mayonnaise?
Yep. That's it.
Do you know what's really gross? I made grilled cheese the other night because I was, that's my comfort food is grilled cheese.
Oh,
and
I love it.
Cheesy potato. Cheese and potatoes in any form for me are comfort food.
Her cheesy potatoes are amazing.
I'll have to put the recipe out because it's not a family secret. So
it is so
I'll give that to you guys.
It is so good.
It's a craft recipe, actually, which is really kind of amusing. But
it's amazing.
So we're making grilled cheese, and this has always bothered me about my husband, you guys. But like, I've never really. I watch him do it every time I make grilled cheese, and I never understand it. He has to open both sides of the grilled cheese, and he puts a layer of mayonnaise in the middle of the cheese while it's still hot, so that it like slides down better, I guess. I don't. It probably wouldn't taste bad, but I just don't get it. That's.
I'm trying to calculate this in my mind. When we get really good at doing all of these like fun like things, like you're just gonna see like quantum physics like pop up in front of our heads.
We're gonna get good at it someday. You'll see it. It'll be great.
Someday we will get there. But I guess so. I don't know. I started making my grilled cheese in the air fryer.
I heard about that. Is it crispier?
It is crispier, and the cheese melts better.
See, I wanted to try that this time, but it was just one of those nights where I was just like, I just need to get this done. And
yeah, it's one that you have to master it.
So it takes some finesse.
It does. It takes some finesse. I just finally finessed making blueberry muffins in the air fryer.
That sounds bomb.
Because I have silicone like souffle dishes.
Mm-hmm.
I throw those bad boys in there, crank it, done.
I think the universe is throwing the millennial generation and some of the Gen Xers a Hail Mary pass. Considering what I'm about to say, it's funny. They know that the seasonal depression hits, I think, Gen Xers and elder millennials in general, probably the hardest out of any generations. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's all the trauma we've lived through or whatever. But
I would have to say it's the trauma that we lived through.
This year's Super Bowl halftime show was announced this week. Or I guess a couple weeks ago, but it's new to me.
Don't tell me it was Meatloaf.
No. Oh my God.
R.I.P. Meatloaf.
That's the other reason we're all depressed. All these celebrities keep dying. Stop! Anyways.
Listen, it has happened every single year. I just expect it. I am numb to it at this point.
But like...
Because every January and February... They always go in 3s and 4s.
Meatloaf and Louis Anderson within hours of each other on the same damn day. Excuse me, what the fuck are we doing, universe? So I think to make it up to us, they gave us this halftime show. So this Hail Mary pass includes Eminem.
Okay.
Dr. Dre.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
And some other dude that I don't really know, but I'm sure someone will go, how did you not know? Blah, blah, blah. But... it's like old school, la da 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 da. It's the D-O-double-G. Oh my God. I can't rap, by the way. So that was awful, but we love Snoop Dogg.
That is exciting. Yes. That is exciting.
And I think they're like, you know what? Let's do something for those damn kids that are always depressed. Let's give them a good halftime show this year. Nobody old. Please. Nobody too young that's gonna rip a boob off or something.
Good old Timberlake.
We are not Timberlake fans, and I love how he goes on that apology tour of it was a wardrobe malfunction and that's not how that was supposed to go, and I'm really sorry to Janet. And
like, listen, I wasn't there, but I watched it live. I saw no remorse.
The apology tour is for his PR benefit, not because he actually meant it.
Right.
It's the same as his Britney Spears apology tour, which, oh my God. Speaking of depressed people.
Listen, seasonal depression is really kicked in.
When you're living for the arguments on Instagram and Twitter between the Spears sisters.
Yes.
You know you're depressed. Okay?
You know you're depressed when reality TV seems so much easier.
Yes.
than
Good
dealing
God.
with your own life.
Good God.
I went down to my mom's house to spend some time with her. She's like, I'm probably going to take a nap. What show do you want to watch? I was like, can you put The Real Housewives Salt Lake City on? She was like, what?
That's a comfort show for me too.
I'm like,
it.
please. And she turned it on and she's like, I have no fucking clue what's going on right now. It's like, oh, this da 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 did, and da 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 da. She's like, why do these bitches keep screaming at one another?
That's like a perfect synopsis to all the Real Housewives shows.
Yes.
Why are these bitches yelling
She's
at
like,
each other?
why are these bitches yelling at one another? I was like, you know why I watch this? Is because I'm numb to the rest of my life and this makes me happy. Because it shows me that my life is better without money.
Well, because nobody's ever truly happy. Like,
No.
that's what that shows you, is they have all this money.
The moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, money does not make you happy.
Mm-mm.
It just makes
helps.
you stressed.
It helps in certain ways that
It
we would both
helps.
like, but it doesn't
helps,
solve all your problems.
But it doesn't solve all the problems. If it did, I would be a very happy lady, but I'm not.
And have you noticed too that, like, with the seasonal depression, I just feel tired all the time.
Oh, I'm exhausted right now.
We both are. Like, I'm sitting here going, I could fall asleep once we're done recording and not hate it. Like,
I'm ready to, like, just go take a hot shower, get my muscles, because I have more muscle pain than I've had at any point of the year.
we're getting old. That's what it is. That's what
know.
it is.
One of our close friends who I work with, hi Kelly, we both sat down and we're like, we are this old. Why do we feel like shit? And our bodies are breaking down. I was like, you want to know why? It's because we ran ourselves ragged when we were younger.
Yep.
And it caught up to us.
It's like, you weren't tired then, but guess what? Now you are.
This one kid, and you know, that's one of the problems that I'm having right now, is that I'm working with a younger generation.
Oh, jeez.
And it's driving me insane. Because, like, one girl, she came up to me, she's like, I only had 3 hours of sleep, and I am just busting with all this energy. And I looked at her on my 5th cup of coffee.
How did you keep the backhand down? Because I would have been like, oh, the hand's getting itchy.
Listen, I had no energy to give her a backhand. All I could do was have enough energy to lift up my coffee cup and say, well, you're young. You're battery operated.
It'll pass.
It'll pass. I am trying to charge my batteries as of right now.
Oh my
She's like,
goodness.
I love coffee. I love having coffee. I'm like, stop.
Oh my gosh.
Don't have coffee.
See, I'm lucky. The younger crews,
Stunts your growth.
the younger people I work with aren't terrible, but they're just made different. And I don't know if that's just because we're getting older, or if it's just a almost 40 thing. But like, you look at them and you're like, can you just do the work? Do I have to hear the whole story? Do I have to?
See, I enjoy doing a play-by-play because I also put in voices and acting involved in that. But when it's the same damn story that I heard 50 million times.
Ugh.
I sit there with my 5th cup of coffee and I go, someday this will be you.
Well, and it's fine when, like, our parents tell us the same story because they're reliving their glory days.
Yes.
Or, you know, it's a funny story that you just enjoy and you just like hearing them tell.
Yep.
That's one thing. But when somebody's telling you the same
I don't want to
fucking story
hear
over and
about
over again.
Shaggy and Scooby-Doo just doing the same damn thing every single week. Like, again, this is going to be you.
Take notes, kids. This will be you someday, chugging 15 cups of coffee and it never being enough.
Just trying to recharge your batteries. And of course, I'm having a lot of gut issues. So that 5th cup of coffee ended up not even sticking.
That's not what you want.
Yes. And what really sucks, I mean, I'm blessed that in the younger years, I did not have to spend a lot of time in the doctor's office. I mean, a lot of mine did result in fake-itis because I did not want to go to school, and my mom definitely caught on and
That's fair, though.
took me to the doctor. I literally had a doctor, family doctor.
Did he call it fake-itis?
Yes.
Oh my god, I
he just goes, he's like, well, what are some of your symptoms? I'm like, I have an upset stomach and my throat hurts and stuff. And he's like, well, here, let me check. And he's like, open up. It's like, well, it looks like what you got here is a case of fake-itis. And here's your prescription of get over it. I'm my doctor now.
I love it.
I am my doctor now.
That's amazing.
I was gagged. If this happened now, I would have been like, that is so rude. I know I have problems. When I was a kid, I was like, huh.
Yeah, what do you say back to that? Nothing.
I couldn't.
No response.
There was nothing.
It's amazing.
I could not say anything. My mom is sitting over in the corner and she is laughing her ass off. She's
of course.
She's having a blast with this. She's like, okay, this is like your 5th day off from school.
There ain't nothing wrong with your ass. Go back to school. I've been telling you that for 3 days. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I didn't know what to do. And then we left and she's like, do you feel better? I was like, no, I don't.
Now I feel guilty and stupid and a whole bunch of other things.
I'm like, you could have just let me stay home.
That would have been a lot less like
No,
jarring.
she caught on to my ass.
That's why she took you.
That's right.
Good job, Mom. I like it. I like it. I might steal that now that the boy's getting a bit older. That might be what happens.
Oh my God.
Oh, so you're sick? Let's go to the doctor. Let's see.
Nope, I'm all better. I am all better. Yeah, that, and of course, I really think at those times, because it was normally during the winter, like you've gone through all of your fall semester kind of stuff, and then you have that break. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, this is amazing. All I have to do is just sit around at home, not have to do anything. Perfect. Then you had to
go back to the real world.
Yeah, then you create this whole like fake-itis thing. But I really think I should have been diagnosed sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I think it's human nature to not want to admit that you're depressed.
Yes.
I think that's just how we're all kind of built.
We're just going to circle right back to it, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, and I was talking to Mom a couple days ago, and she's feeling a little bit down here recently, and I was like, why don't you talk to somebody? And because one of her doctors had suggested a therapist, and she's like,
yeah.
I'm not going to a fucking shrink. Love you,
that's
Mom.
That's how my mom is.
Maybe you need, like, different medicine. I'm not saying you have to talk to anybody but me, but, like, maybe like a medicine change. So people...
Medicine. Huh. Maybe we should take that, Mom.
From my comfort show to my conversation with my mom, it all ties in. We're watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend again.
Yeah.
Because it's my fave. Shout out to, Rebecca Bloom. Rachel Bloom,
also,
who plays Rebecca. My God.
It's okay. It's all right.
Tired.
You can just put it all together. But it is also shown if you have anxiety and depression, you can always know when you go back to your comfort show. Mm-hmm. And one of my comfort show, I mean, I have many of them, but the one that I go to always is MASH.
Yeah. That's it.
MASH is my comfort show.
It's a
I don't know why.
TV show you probably watched when you were young. And
yes.
Alan Alda just has that face.
He does.
That dad face where you're like, aw.
And I just love it. And I watched all 11 episodes or seasons.
Well, I love the thing about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is that not only is it my comfort show because it's like musical theater and TV comedy, Had a Baby.
Yeah.
But she very much hits on every single type of depression, bipolar. Like, you can tell the entire show she's like, there's something wrong upstairs. And she dumps in the first episode all of her medication down in the garbage disposal. And it's not till the 4th season, which unfortunately was the final season, that she gets on an antidepressant that works. And they actually won, I believe, what's the one for music? The Grammy, is that right?
Emmy?
Oh, whatever.
Music. I was thinking musical. I'm like, Emmy?
I think it's a Grammy, but they won a Grammy for antidepressants are not a big deal. a paraphrasing of the title of the song. But
Listen,
look it up.
I want to make a musical for Disney that has like all of the cartoon characters singing, "Everybody has problems." Everybody's on antidepressants. Come on, Goofy.
Let's go.
Gosh, guys, we're all depressed here.
Donald is standing on the edge of a fucking bridge about to
I
commit
mean,
suicide.
if you think about it, we've got Donald Duck with rage issues. We've got Mickey Mouse with, I'm assuming, delusional problems.
Yeah. At least.
A Goofy. He's definitely a depressed one. Like he
puts on the brave face in
He
public.
puts that brave face on, and everything that he tries, he never sticks with.
Especially if you watch him as a dad in the Goofy movie.
Yes.
It's even more apparent that he has some sort of depression. Or
Yes. You got Minnie, who probably has body imaging issues.
Body dysmorphia. What millennial doesn't after low-rise jeans? Okay, let's be real.
Yes. Daisy has the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
With those big scary shoes, and then they have those like tiny waists.
Oh yeah.
Daisy has that big duck ass, you know?
Got Scrooge McDuck, who's like, he's greed.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of mental disorder that would be.
The only one that's too pure for this concept is
schizophrenic,
Pluto.
Maybe?
The dog.
The dog. The dog is the only one. No, Chip and Dale, they have schizophrenia.
Which one's Chip? Which one's Dale? They don't know. Neither do we.
Or they have DID.
Great.
But if you think about it, if you drop everything down, everything that we have ever watched, there's been some form of mental illness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, and I'm just like, what was I built this way? And they're just like, it's very possible it could be genetics. And really going down my family history, I had a lot of family members that were manic depressant, and I had a schizophrenic uncle.
I bet that was fun. Do you ever know which one you were talking to?
No, I don't. I never met the guy.
Oh, that's sad.
But my mom told me about it, and my real grandpa on her side like stuck his head in an oven because he was over it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so there's a lot of mental problems
It's
in
pretty
my family.
prevalent, just in general, though. I think a lot of people either know somebody or has a parent or an aunt or an uncle who suffers from something that's mental health related.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up our seasonal depression episode, everybody.
See, we missed you guys.
We did. Next week, we will be talking to the beautiful, wonderful Alexandra Calvin about her book.
Finally, it's taken us a while.
Yes.
But we're
to zip up some schedules to get there, but we're finally there. And we're going to look high-tech next week because we will be doing a Zoom video with Zoom audio for you guys instead. It's going to be new for us, which is going to be really weird.
It's going to be exciting. New journeys
But we're
ahead.
going to be with Alex without making her come to the den.
Yes.
So, look out for that.
We're excited about it.
It's going to be fun.
It is.
So, we'll check you guys out next week.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
See ya.
And boys, Scouts.